Hey, happy Monday, friends. September 8th. I'm going to go ahead and open it up right now. And here we go. We're going live on the gram. Facebook is joining in. Yo, what's up, guys? Hello, hello. I hope everyone's week is off to a wonderful start. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend as well. Keeping up with Kaya. Hey, congratulations. You're the first one in. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. What up, Ashley? Hello, hello. Tell me where you're coming from as well. Facebook, there's a little delay there. You're late to the party. Instagram is rolling in right now. Friends from around the world. Here we go. Scotland. Let's go. First friend overseas. I love it. Weight loss, Kirsty edition. I love the name. What up, Steve? In Kentucky. What up, Brenda? Kazakhstan is in the house. Oh my gosh. Let's go. Yo, hey, guess what? There's a school in Kazakhstan that is actually doing Move 1 Million, which is that's the warm-up that my nonprofit, and it's in like 76 countries around the world. In Kazakhstan, there's an amazing school there that's actually doing the warm-up every day. Yo, what up, Sarah in California? Hello. What it do, Blake? Love it. From the ATX. All right. Stephanie, what's up, my friend? I love it. So, Steph, I know you need help on those lemon cupcakes. I just had one. Guys, we made the most delicious lemon poppy seed. They're low carb lemon poppy seed, high protein muffins yesterday with frosting, lemon frosting. They're insane. All right, here we go. We got Ohio in the house, South Dakota in the house. We got Mobile, Alabama, North Carolina, Florida. And by the way, everyone's dropping their abbreviations, but of course, 5th grade geography. I remember all this stuff. I see Kansas. All right, here we go. We got Facebook has joined the party. What up, Cassie? What up, Maggie in Chicago? What up, Eddie, my man? My man, Eddie. Palm Beach, Florida. Let's go. Sarah, hello. What up, Dawn? What up? Yo, the collective has joined the house. I love it. We got Sarah, we got Eddie, we got the whole crew joining in. Susan, what up, Shelly? What up, Kim Cox? Kim Johnson. Yo, Kim, get ready. Here we go again, my friend. I hope you're excited. All right, Kim, our challenge is kicking off today. And so I see some familiar names in here, and I'm excited to see their faces again because I recognize from some previous challenges, we're going to have a ton of fun. Let's go. I see Cassie's in West Virginia. What up, Vinny? What up, Michael? What up, BJ? All right. I see San Jose in the house. San Jose, I used to live in Salinas, so just south of y'all. It's Finland. Hello, Finland. The weather, okay, so here we go. Bakerina. Weather in AZ is gorgeous right now. Actually, it was 79 degrees this morning. It was lovely hanging out outside. It's going to warm up a little bit, but I don't even think we're going to see 100 today, which is, we're looking at 98 for the high, which is cold around here. So loving it. All right, here we go. South Dakota. I see Slovakia. Wisconsin. Hello, Wisconsin. Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. Huntington Beach, California. Let's go. All right. What up, Whitney? Hello, Vinny. What up, Amy? And Sandy, you're right here in my back, right here in my backyard, Mesa, Arizona. Let's go. Okay. My friends. Hey, listen, I've got some, let's start off on the positive. Let's start off. And this whole session is about you, how I can serve you, how I can answer your questions and help support your journey of transformation, whatever it might be, whether it's weight loss, maintenance, muscle gain, wherever you want to go. So, all right, let's have some fun here. Let's have some fun. And let's start off on, I want to know, guys, and we've talked about this before, but I think this is something we should focus on a regular basis. And this should be part of a regular reflection. What's a win from your weekend? Something that you did to improve yourself, something to get you one step closer to a better quality of life. What's something that you did this weekend? Please share so we can celebrate with you. I would love to know. All right, I'm going to jump over here. Right now, Insta's moving pretty fast. So what is something what's a big win for the weekend? Did you go on a walk? Did you hit your hydration targets? Did you track your macros? Brenda, great job. She says, I didn't overeat. James, what's up, buddy? He tracked his food. Let's go, my man. All right. All right, Mrs. Angel packed her food for a baseball tournament. Brilliant. I love it. And that way you're not hitting concessions all day long. And so I'm sure you probably felt a lot better and you felt better about yourself. Ingrid, great sleep and a healthy walk and smoothies. Let's go. Let's go. Panak, I love this. Panak said no. Talk about something that's healthy. Setting boundaries for yourself. That's huge. Friends, listen up. For most of us, and I guarantee there's a lot of people pleasers on here. I guarantee this. I know this. Your transformation lies on the other end of some awkward conversations, some possibly what could feel like difficult conversations at first. And sometimes it's just saying, that doesn't work for me right now. You know what? I'm busy because I've got an appointment. An appointment could be with yourself, but it's just being able to say no. And you don't have to do it in a rude way at all, in the most respectful and kind way, but setting those boundaries. Your transformation lies on the other side of that. And so if anyone here is really serious about changing their life for the better, setting those healthy boundaries and learning to say no, learning to protect yourself, that's going to be one of the most important things you could possibly do. Here we go. Malin, food prep. I love it. Stephanie had the girls' weekend. Unload that stress from the week. I love it. Pam got more sleep. Steve went out for a walk with his dog about a mile. It's probably one of the best ways to get your steps in. Get a dog. I love it because they will always let you know. They'll remind you. They've just got those built-in clocks. All right, over here to Facebook. Oh man, Facebook is just pouring in with the wins from the weekend. There we go. Yes, Susan, I can't wait to hear about this mud run. I am so excited to dig in here, and we will talk about it tomorrow in office hours. I can't wait. Whitney, she smashed legs yesterday. Let's go. On a Sunday of all things. That's gangster. All right. Here we go. Brian got over 10,000 steps each day this weekend. Boy, talk about a win. Man, and your body's going to thank you for it. That's one thing for certain. It will absolutely thank you for it. Here we go. Vinny's got a phone dietitian. He's got an appointment October 7th. Let's go, Vinny. Good job, dude. Kim, holy smokes, walked 16,000 steps with friends at the Toronto Zoo. That's amazing. Sarah ate mindfully at a party. Amy went to a Zumba class. I love it. Dawn ate healthy food and went on a walk. Incredible. Michael biked 15 miles on Sunday. It's amazing in 40-degree weather. I hope you biked fast to warm yourself up. Kim listened to her body and rested. Listen to that one. That is a massive step in the right direction. That's a huge win, to listen to your body and rest when it needs it. Rest and recovery is just as much a part of this journey as fitness and nutrition, guys. And so way to go, Kim. That's awesome. Whitney, meal prep for football. I love it. Oh, for her football kid, I should say. Yes, calories and protein. Calories are king. Protein is the queen. Those are the two most important things you need to focus on. That's it. And then carbs and fats, they fall where they may, but we can always play around with them. And this is where I like to carb cycle, because it'll teach you a lot about yourself. Speaking of which, guys, carb cycling challenge, it does kick off today. And if anyone does want to join, you are more than welcome. This is onboarding week, so just keep that in mind. And you can still join actually throughout the week. Doors are going to close this Sunday. Doors close this Sunday because we launch Monday. But this is onboarding week. So if anyone wants to still join in, it's going to be a really fun. I mean, it's an action-packed week. There's a lot to learn. Everything's being recorded, but it's going to be a blast, and you're going to learn a ton about yourself. Maggie, listen to her body. She ate only half of her meal. I love it. And you enjoyed the leftovers the next day. They ain't going anywhere. I love it. And you say, oh, that was delicious. Now I can just put it in the fridge for later. Way to go, Maggie. All right, Linnea. She was kind to herself for not having the energy to work out like she wanted. Let me see. She listened to her body, gave herself grace, just like Kim. Beautiful. Here we go. Eddie did the same thing. He took some me time and recharged his batteries, which was much needed. Buddy, I hope you got some great sleep, maybe some light stretching, a little walk here and there. That's awesome. Again, guys, that's just as important as the nutrition and the workout and all that other good stuff. Rest and recover. Your body needs it. It's the yin and the yang. You can't have one without the other. Here we go. I love this one. Kristen, most vital boundary is that she starts every day with a workout. It is non-negotiable for her. I love that you said non-negotiable. I think it is a brilliant term. And I think it's something when you adopt that term, Non-negotiable. I think it's real obvious what it means. And you can communicate that with other people. This is my non-negotiable. It means I ain't going to argue with anybody about this. It's going to happen. And it's something you protect and you defend. And that is you. That is your time to focus on you. And that way you can show up as the best you for everybody else around you. So when you do that, when you protect your non-negotiable and you get it done, everybody wins. That's awesome. Way to go, Kristen. All right, here we go. Over here to Insta. And walked on a treadmill for, holy smokes, 2 hours while studying university work. That's a huge win, my friend. That is huge. And by the way, I love it. So I've got a walking pad. It's literally sitting underneath me right now. And that's what I do during my meetings or when I'm just working away. I just turn the thing on and I walk and time flies by. And before I know it, I go, oh, I just got 6,000 steps. Great. Awesome. Oh, I just did 10,000 steps. Greatest investment I've ever made. $150 Amazon. It's easy peasy, guys. And it's a game changer for weight loss, for wellness, for health span, not just lifespan. It's not about how long you live, but it's how long you live well. Health span. Walk, walk, walk. That's why I'm such a huge believer in these walking pads. Again, I've got no sponsorships, no nothing. I'll send everybody to Amazon. You can get a really good one or you can get a high-end one, but whatever works best for you, whatever's in your budget. But let me tell you, the more you walk, the healthier you're going to be. And it's going to save you a lot of money in the long run. That's for sure. All right. Tropical Storm 808. What's up, my friend? Learned how to do trigger point release with a little hard ball. Isn't that something? That's magical. When you got a knot, you got a tight muscle in there and you just sit on that. It's painful as all get out and you breathe into it. And when that sucker releases, it's a whole new world, isn't it? I love it. Oh man, guys, this is, I'm literally scrolling through wins. This has got to be a couple hundred wins is what it looks like right now. This is awesome. You guys are on fire. I love this. And by the way, guys, thanks so much for showing up. We've been really incredibly consistent. And remember, guys, consistency is key. It's not about perfection. It's not about me showing up here once and answering every question I possibly can and never showing up again. No, it's about showing up every Monday. It's about you showing up every day for yourself. And I posted about this yesterday. Sometimes you're feeling good and you show up at 80%, and sometimes you show up at 20%. You win both ways. As long as you show up, you win. So I know we set all these unrealistic expectations on ourselves to give 100% every single day. And when you do that, it's the fastest way to burn out. And I know most of us are guilty of that. It's just the way that we're programmed as humans. And so it's not that you're broken or anything. There's nothing wrong with you. But we set these super high expectations thinking that we have to show up for our weight loss journey, for our transformation. We got to give it everything. No, you don't. Just show up. If you're feeling it, give it 70%, maybe 80%. If you're not feeling it, just give it 20%. Scale it back. And as long as you're consistent, you'll win. That's the key, guys. Consistency is huge. And y'all have been really consistent. Everyone keeps showing up. And that's huge. So my ask then is, instead of just showing up every Monday, by the way, keep showing up here. This is great. But then start showing up for yourself on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then just watch, wait and see where you'll go from here. It's going to be amazing. Okay. Awesome, my friends. Yo, let's go. Here's what we're going to do. Let me see. Oh, Misheru. Here's the thing. It officially starts on September 15th. And so the next one I'll be doing, next challenge I'll be doing is going to be January 1. This one you can actually join until the morning of the 15th. So I'm not sure where that falls for you, but that's where it is. And if not, we'll see you in January. Or actually, I'll just see you next Monday. How's that? And then the Monday after that. So just keep showing up here. All right, my friends. Huge wins from the weekend all around. Now, another question for you. And so that's in the past. So by the way, I want to acknowledge everybody for your wins over the weekend, or maybe even last week. Huge. Now let's talk about this week. What are you going to focus on this week? I'd like to know that. Let me know, what are you going to focus on? Is it going to be fitness? Is it going to be food? Is it going to be mindset? Is it all three? What's your goal to focus on this week? What's something that you're really looking to improve? Something that you're willing to put a little bit of work into? Really focus on that thought process to put some, limbic friction into it, where you're really you got to think about it and you got to put in a little bit of work. What's something that you're working on? Oh my gosh, beautiful pink pixie. Yo, I love it. She said, thanks to the Deliciously Fit, she's lost 15 pounds in 2 weeks. That's incredible, my friend. That is absolutely incredible. I hope you're loving the foods. They're all high protein comfort foods, and I am so happy for you. That is absolutely incredible. And look at that. Just a tiny little switch up. You're still eating the foods that you love, but if you can just tweak them a little bit, look what can happen. Now, granted, realistic expectations here and just realistic results. I'm sure some of that is going to be some water weight, but nevertheless, look at the trend. Let's go ahead and let's release that water weight. Think about everything that you were carrying before, even if it was water weight. Look at that bloating or possibly inflammation. And so now let your body release it and now keep it going. I love it. And I am cheering you on, my friend. This is huge. All right. So what's it going to be, guys? As far as what are you focusing on this week? Fitness, food, mindset. What is it going to be? All right. Here we go. I see, okay, right here with Instagram, I see, let's go. James, nutrition, Beth, healthy eating and mindset. I love it. L Bell 21, walking and meal prep. Ingrid, meal prep for the first time. Welcome, my friend. And I love that you're doing it though, because you'll realize as soon as you meal prep once, you go, well, that wasn't hard. That was pretty okay. That's kind of cool. And I promise you this, the first time you meal prep is probably gonna be the most confusing time it ever happens. And it ain't that hard. And then you get better and better and better, and you refine it. I love it. Hopefully you got the Deliciously Fit book, and so you're making some tasty foods for yourself and for whoever's with you. Steph, all 3. J Oaks 12, walking my dog twice a day. I love it. I love it. Waldo South. Oh man, I'd love to be on TV again. I would love to do a show, but a show would be very different nowadays. It'd be very different. There's so much has changed and so much that we've learned, and the world of weight loss has evolved. Look at the tools that we have now. Oh my gosh. Guys, back then when I was doing the show, we didn't even have nutrition trackers. We weren't even tracking macros. My Fitness Pal was just getting started. Like, I'm trying to think of the year that it actually started, but we didn't have anything to actually track. Like it's almost like transforming in the prehistoric days, with the dinosaurs. Now imagine what we could do. It would all be so different though. And just the everything has evolved. All right, Misheru, nutrition. I love it. Sticking to it, writing it down. It's one of the best things you can do. Or track it on an app. Here we go. Tropical Storm, educating yourself, macros and micros. That's wickedly important. And like I mentioned before, remember this, calories are king, protein is the queen. And so like of all the macros, protein is going to be the most important one. I've got a fun question for you guys right after this regarding macros. Let's jump over here to Facebook. I want to give you guys some love over here. Here we go. Wendy's tracking her meals. Dawn's buying healthy foods. Ian, positive mindset. Yes. Susan, getting back into dialing down nutrition and movement. This week is the nutrition challenge, my friend. Susan, so I sign up for it. You got this. That's in the collective, guys. So Susan's in the collective. We do these weekly challenges, and so this week everyone's dialing in the nutrition. So here we go. Whitney says happiness and more protein intake. I love both of them. Judy, focusing on food and walking this week. Love it. Maggie, water. Sarah, steps and 1 minute muscle during travel week. Yes. Kim, nutrition and move 1 million. Let's go. Shelly, water. Andrew, diet and workout this week. Eddie, nutrition and mindset. Linnea, all 3. Okay, Kim, you let me know after the call tonight. Deal. I love it. I want to hear about some of your worldly adventures as well. All right. Okay, guys, here we go. One more question for you, then you guys can put me in the hot seat. We'll have some fun and happy to answer some questions for you guys. Here we go. My question is for you. I want you to give me one word as to how you want to feel on October 1st. Okay, so today's September 8th. We've got what? How many days are in September? We got 30 days in September. 22 days. We got 3 weeks and a day until October 1st. What's one word? Maybe 2. I'll allow 2. But how do you want to feel on October 1st? What's something you want? I love it. Oh, I see it. I see energized. I see energetic. There we go. Beautiful, by the way. If you have more energy, you have more everything. Think about that. I heard somebody say that probably about 20 years ago, and it stuck with me. And it was a man. He was a college professor, and he was out giving a speech, and he just said, uh, and who is it that said basically the world is run? It's the world. What was it that he said? There's another saying. It's like the world is run by the energetic, right? But this gentleman, the college professor, said if you have more energy, you have more everything. Think about that. If you've got the energy, you could do anything. All you have to do is just point that energy where you want to go and focus on what you want to focus, and you just move that direction. You can get so much done. I love it. Okay, here we go. One word. Oh, this is gonna be okay, guys. I'm gonna move fast here. So I see Steph, healthy, Jay Oaks, confident, Mike Landrick, refreshed, Jill, strong, Beth, calmer, do it with one leg, alive. I love it. Sarah, less bloated. Fair enough. Anne, lighter and energized. Here we go. D Rose, stronger. Gina, more energy. Jeannie, proud. What up, Jeannie? Good to see you, my friend. Panak says lighter. One fast V8, young. Lisa, peace. Boy, I feel you there. Here we go. Amazing. Jumping over here to Facebook. Here we go. Facebook says, Whitney says content. Kathy says content. Whitney says energetic. Here we go. Ariel says alive. Eddie, accomplished. I love it. Dawn, healthy. Susan, accomplished. Lisa, stronger. Wendy, stronger. Linnea, pride. Beautiful. Marcy, loved. BJ, stronger. Becky, proud. Patricia, routine. I like that. Like that consistency with the routine. Michael, accomplished. Shelly, fitter. Kim, improved. Maribeth, more disciplined. Amazing. Guys, this is awesome. Here we go. Ariel, alive. Stacy, less inflammation. Fair enough. Susan, walk again. Andrew, healthier and happier. Sarah, consistent. I see content with Beth. Jody, motivated. Wei Ying, fresh. Way to go, guys. Thank you. Thank you. All right. That's your word or two words. Capture it. If you can write it down. There's a saying that they hear me say it all the time. It ain't mine. I didn't come up with it, but it's just so true. If you can name it, you can tame it. And so if you have a feeling, and this is something you really want to accomplish, a goal, whatever it is, this is essentially, it's kind of like a goal. You write it down. Don't keep it stuck up here, guys. Nothing does you any good if you keep it up here and you keep it quiet. You must write it down, speak it into existence, put it on a whiteboard, write it down on a piece of paper, enter it into your notes on your phone, whatever that is. It's really important that you do. If you can name it, you can tame it. Okay. I mentioned I wanted to share something with you guys for anyone who might not know this. And by the way, a lot of people don't. We were talking, I see about macronutrients. There's three main macronutrients, right? Proteins, carbs, and fats. Everything that we eat is a combination of one or more of those things. Most of the foods we eat is a combination of probably two or three of those things, depending. The more real, whole, natural food it is, the more you can kind of get into, meat being protein and fats. Anything plant-based would be some protein, mostly carbohydrates, maybe a little bit of fats here and there. But so here's the thing. Here's a question for you. And so I'm gonna ask the question. You guys need to drop in the answer. Between proteins, carbs, and fats, the three main macronutrients, which one do you burn the most calories digesting? So our body has to digest the food, right? Swallow it, goes down the esophagus into the stomach. It's a big vat of acid. It melts it all down, pushes it into the small intestine, and then it gets absorbed through the small intestine into the bloodstream. There's three main macronutrients: protein, carbs, and fats. One of them requires a lot of energy to break it down and digest. The other two don't. Which one requires the most energy to break down and digest? Oh, you guys are good. You guys are good. I see protein. Yep, you're spot on. All right, so now I'm going to take this to another level. And by the way, if anyone knows this, I'm going to be so blown away. About approximately what percentage of protein is burned in the digestive process. And so it never even makes it into your system. How much? What percentage of protein is burned in the digestive process while it's being broken down, so that your body never even gets those calories, never even sees them, because your body actually burns that energy in the digestive process. Okay, I see. Numbers are coming in. I see 40%. I see 75%. I see 30%. I see 25, 90. Here we go. I see 75, 2%, 20 to 30%. How many of you guys are doing a quick Google search right now? All right. I see. Yep. There we go. I see a lot. Now they're coming in 20 to 30%. 20 to, yes, my friends. Okay, as if we couldn't love protein enough, as if we couldn't love it enough, because it's the most immediately satiating macronutrient, meaning that it's the one that when you consume it, it will make you feel fuller faster than any of the others. So if I was going to consume a lot of carbohydrates, probably not going to feel extremely full right off the bat. If I consume a lot of fats, I'm not going to feel full right off immediately, but fats will actually trigger a full signal about 20 minutes later. However, protein, if I eat a lot of protein, within a couple minutes, I'm going to start to feel really full. So yeah, it's incredible. But on top of that, your body is going to burn about 20 to 30% of those calories from that protein just digesting it, whether it was eggs, fish, beef, chicken, a protein shake, Greek yogurt. I mean, you name it. That protein, your body. So say you ate 1,000 calories of protein. Your body's only going to get about 700 to 800. How cool is that? It's like free food you get to eat. Think about it. You really can. And also, a lot of times, even with these high protein diets, you're tracking the entire thing. So the more protein that you're consuming in your diet, and say you eat, 1,500 calories, there might be some carbs and fats in there. There absolutely should be. But if the majority of that is protein, of all those protein calories, about you never even saw 20 to 30% of them. They never even went in. Talk about an insurance policy. Think about that, guys. Think about it. And by the way, fact check me. Everyone go do a Google search, or hey, ChatGPT, how much protein do I burn in the digestive process? It's going to tell you 20 to 30%. How cool is that? So think about that. I know you hear us, especially me, I'm like, oh, protein. And by the way, oh yeah, it also supports your muscle, which you absolutely need on the journey of transformation. You have to maintain that muscle, because that's going to help you maintain that metabolic rate. So guys, it's really exciting stuff. So yeah, think about that. This is why protein is all the rage. It should be, for all the right reasons. So yeah, keep that in mind. All right. Just wanted to share that with you guys really quick as we are. Okay, so she's got a great question here. Ashley asked a question. How many grams of protein a day should we eat? Ashley, okay, and now I'm in the hot seat. Guys, fire away. And my apologies if I don't see your question. They're flying through right now, both on Facebook and Instagram. If I do see it, I'd love to get to it. But here we go. When it comes to grams of protein, there are a lot of different recommendations that you're going to hear. For a long time, you would hear, 0.8 grams per kilogram, which in my opinion, and actually now, when you look at and by the way, kilogram is going to be 2.2 pounds. If you do the math there, it actually comes out to a very small amount, and if you ask all of the people, in the nutrition science world, the real thought leaders in this space are saying that is far from where it needs to be. They're actually finding that consuming a lot of protein, it's the friendliest of all macronutrients. When it comes to over consuming, we talked about this as far as burning in the digestive process, but the body can handle it. A healthy body can handle it as long as you don't have kidney issues. A healthy body can absolutely process a lot of protein. So now, to answer your question, you will hear a gram per pound of target body weight. So say your goal body weight or your target body weight where you want to be is 160 pounds, maybe, or 170 pounds or 130 pounds. If you just aim for a gram per pound of the target body weight where you want to be, that would be adequate, considered adequate. Again, there's no one size fits all here. It all depends on how active you are. If you're, breaking down your muscle tissue with resistance training or high activity, whatever that might be, it all depends. But that's always something decent to aim for. One thing I always like to do, especially when I'm helping people when I create meal plans, I go for percentages. And so I always like to keep your protein intake between 30 and 40% of your overall calories for the day. That's where I always prefer to keep the protein. Again, 30% on the low end, 40% in the mid-range. I will even be as flexible as 45 or 50% of the diet coming from protein. And I do that for my individuals who are on the weight loss journey because I want them feeling more satiated, and protein is a powerful tool for that. I also want that buffer, like we talked about, that insurance policy, because I know that they can overconsume protein and their body's going to burn 20 to 30% of it in the digestive process. And as long as they're healthy, I know the body's going to process it. And so that's what I typically recommend. So again, you'll hear a lot of different recommendations. Sometimes it will be in, now they'll say 1.6 to 1.8 grams per kilogram. So old recommendation was like less than 1 gram per kilogram. I'm sorry, I'm imperial. I'm thinking pounds. Less than 1 gram per kilogram, which is like less than half a gram per pound. But now they're saying, whoa, no. Especially for those who are on the weight loss journey, especially for people who are trying to preserve their muscles, especially for people who are using GLP-1 medications, you need more protein. You have to have that protein to support the muscle. And so now they're saying 1.6 grams per kilogram, 1.8 grams per kilogram, 2 grams per kilogram, or 1 gram per pound target body weight. Sorry to throw out all these different numbers, but again, you're going to hear a lot of the different ones out there. I'd rather hand all of them over to you and then tell you, okay, I think it's 1 gram per pound of target body weight. It's probably a really easy thing. I love that one. And also typically when I do meal plans, I will aim between 30 to upwards of 50% of the diet would come from protein. Hope that helps. Okay, here we go. Let me see. Here we go. Looking for some questions. All right. Questions. Let's see. Is there... Okay, so Mandy's asking, is there a link between gluten-free diet and thyroid issues improving without medication? First of all, I got to say, I am not a licensed medical doctor. I'm not an endocrinologist. And so it's really important, if you do have thyroid issues, you got to speak with your licensed medical professional to help guide you through that. However, what I can speak to is that, do I know of a link between the gluten-free diet and thyroid issues? Yeah, there seems to be, and I have seen some suggestions about the link between a gluten-free diet and also dairy sometimes, but mostly a gluten-free diet and thyroid issues. Is that something that's important to me? It is, because I'm hypothyroid myself. I've got Hashimoto's thyroiditis. I was diagnosed over 10 years ago, so I've been on medication ever since, Synthroid. And I was gluten-free actually for quite some time. Believe it or not, I had been gluten-free for about 8 years before I got diagnosed. When I was diagnosed, I was like 8 years gluten-free. So I'm thinking, well, it ain't the gluten. So anyway, just the irony of that whole thing. So at least, but that again, that's my journey. But I actually have seen a decent amount. However, I don't know how much literature actually supports that. It's a really good question. I don't know the answer to it. And it's something I would just need to look up, spend some time on PubMed and really pull up some literature and see if there's really solid studies, double-blind, placebo-controlled studies of people who are going gluten-free and seeing if it actually helped improve their thyroid function. So that's definitely something I should spend some time looking into. But a really good question. Let me see here. Okay, here we go. Sarah. Oh, okay, really good question here. This is about cortisol. All right, guys, we all know this. Cortisol gets a really bad rap, right? It's a stress hormone. but it's not really a stress hormone. It's the kind of the circadian rhythm hormone. Now, it is associated with stress because it's released from the adrenal glands with epinephrine and norepinephrine, also known as adrenaline. Okay, so she says, how do I lower my cortisol levels? Through food and exercise. Now, here's the thing. So, Sarah, I'm going to throw a little curveball at you here. Cortisol. Hold on. Let me. Cortisol. A natural cortisol curve. Remember, you need cortisol is what wakes you up in the morning. And so if you're actually looking at the natural circadian rhythm, then your cortisol should be rising in the morning, and then it should start to drop over the course of the day. And then this is where you're going to fall asleep here. However, here's the thing. You might wake up right here. This is like, basically, it's as your cortisol starts to, like a pulse of cortisol comes out of your adrenals and actually wakes you up first thing in the morning. And then you need to actually, this is going to sound crazy, but if you really want to control your cortisol, you control it by spiking it early in the day. It's not about trying to fight it and get it down over here. If you want to get it down, guess what? Watch this. If you intentionally spike your cortisol higher first thing in the morning, then guess what it does? It actually drops lower faster and then starts to stabilize into the night. How cool is that? By the way, fact check me on this one. Have some fun. Go to PubMed, look at cortisol curves. If you can actually spike it higher in the morning, it will drop faster. How do you spike it in the morning? Sunlight. This is a bunch of the different things you can do. Caffeine can do it, but if you're a habitual caffeine drinker, it won't spike your cortisol much at all. It's usually if you just have a little, like anytime you either introduce caffeine or have a little extra, it can spike it even higher. So I will say this, I will say caffeine, but again, it will only do it if you are new to drinking caffeine in the morning or switching up your caffeine source. Sometimes that can do it as well. You switch to a new formula, go from coffee to an energy drink, go from energy drink to a little caffeine shot or something like that. You switch up that source, you'll get an extra little bolt of caffeine. Something else that will do this. Drink a lot of water first thing in the morning. Believe it or not, that can actually help increase. So we'll say water. We got caffeine, we got sunlight, exercise, light exercise. It's going to get your heart rate up. Guess what? That will increase your cortisol. So you want to do these things first thing in the morning. So for me, first thing in the morning, I always did, I call it my 3 C's. Oh, this will do it too. Cold. Right? So that was part of my morning routine here. I'm going to crank that up just a little bit so you can see it. So cold, exercise, water, caffeine, sunlight. My 3 C's were cold, caffeine, cardio. So every single morning, those were my non-negotiables. I'd wake up, jump in some cold water. Now here's the thing. Cold, light caffeine, as your body starts to get used to it, it won't release as much cortisol first thing in the morning. So you can't get as much of a spike. But drink 20 ounces of water, 24 ounces of water first thing in the morning. It's great for the digestive system, but also helps get your cortisol up. So cold, caffeine, cardio, water, and then sunlight. Get some direct sunlight. Even if it's overcast, get outside and get some light, bright light. Again, even if it's overcast, get that outdoor light into your eyes. That will actually help spike this higher. When it's spiked higher, it will drop lower sooner. That's where you get the win. Here's the catch, though. One thing that might be out of our control, and this is what can start to spike our cortisol later into evenings, stress. So come up even beyond food or exercise. Remember, exercise, higher intensity exercise releases more cortisol. So if you're going to do higher intensity exercise and you're trying to control your cortisol wave, front load it earlier in the day. Don't do your high intensity exercise close to your evening because it will disrupt your sleep. Because then all of a sudden cortisol is coming down, you do a high intensity exercise and it's going to go woof, and you're going to get a big bump of cortisol in there. You don't want this. You want your cortisol as low as possible so you can drop into some really good deep sleep because it will mess it up. So we don't want that. So again, spike it high, drop it low. Learn how to control your stress throughout the rest of the day. This is like, 9 a.m., 8 a.m., 7 a.m. It's like 30 to 45 minutes of waking. That's when you want that sucker peaking. And then this is the rest of your day. So if you can breathing techniques, gratitude, mindfulness, all these different things. You need to employ those techniques so you're not spiking your cortisol throughout the day with all that stress. I hope that helps. By the way, if you can start doing that, I'm a huge believer in cortisol, like understanding your natural cortisol curve. Not even understanding it, controlling it. You can control your cortisol curve. And if you can control that, I think this is directly linked to your overall wellness. You can control this, better sleep, more wakefulness, more energy, focus, and clarity throughout the day. Who doesn't want that? I mean, so I'm telling you, get that cortisol way up high in the morning so it can drop faster, you can sleep better, and you can feel a lot better for the next 24 hours. Game changer. Hope that helps. All right. Let me see here. What else? Here we go. Ariel, opinion on testing like DEXA scans or resting metabolic rate. I think they're both phenomenal. You get your RMR tested, and I think it's for a lot of people that think they have a broken metabolism. Here's the thing. You'll never break your metabolism. It's never been broken. And so now granted, it will adapt. So there is metabolic adaptation, but it's never broken. And it can also recover. And so DEXA scans, incredibly important to see what your body composition is, how much bone you've got, how much lean muscle tissue, how much fat-free mass, which is going to be your bones, your organs, your muscle, everything, how much body fat you've got. I think they're beautiful to get as you track yourself through the journey because it's going to give you a much more realistic look at your overall body composition and really look at your progress. And it's really cool when you get a DEXA scan and then 6 months later, 3 months later, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months later, you get these scans along the way. You can genuinely, you see quantitative proof of the physical changes in your body composition, which is beautiful. I think resting metabolic rate, again, phenomenal to understand what your resting metabolic rate is, but also understand that the moment you start moving based on your activity levels, that your resting metabolic rate will overall could possibly stay around the same. However, you gain muscle, guess what? Resting metabolic rate is going to go up. You lose muscle, resting metabolic rate is going to go down. It's really good to see how it changes, especially over time. What's going to happen as you lose weight with your resting metabolic rate? Guess what? You're probably going to lose muscle. I'm going to shoot you straight. Even if you're weight training, even if you're eating adequate protein, you maintain it as best you can. And so if you end up losing a pound of muscle, 2 pounds of muscle, man, what a win. That's huge. But if you've got a long way to go, you got 100, 200 pounds to lose, then usually you're going to see 6, 10, 15 pounds of muscle loss. It can easily happen. Now, keep in mind, if you're consuming adequate protein and resistance training. If you're trying to lose 100 pounds and you ain't eating adequate protein and you're not resistance training, you could lose 40 pounds of muscle. And then you're screwed. Sorry. I got to say it. You're putting, if you lose that weight without maintaining that muscle, your resting metabolic rate is going to drop. And you know what's even more important than resting muscle? Yeah, resting muscle burns a decent amount of calories. It's like your metabolic engine. You know what's even more like crazier and burns a lot more calories? You put all that muscle into motion. So think about when you've got all this muscle on your body, and then you stand up and you walk to the kitchen, you walk back, and you're walking on your walking pad. Now your calorie burn goes up exponentially because all of this muscle is in motion. You're sitting on a V12 engine and you're moving it. You don't want to take a V12 engine and cannibalize it down to a V4. It won't burn nearly as much gas, and you want to burn gas. You want to burn as much fuel as possible. Maintain your V12. It's going to get you where you want to go faster. And when you lose the weight, if you still got a V12 engine, you can keep it off a lot easier. So keep that in mind. So yes, I say test it. The more you can see that, it's huge. It's huge. Okay. Here we go. All right, let me see. More questions. These are great. And you know what's crazy, guys? I know time flies when we're doing this. I hope I'm giving you some solid information for your journey. I hope this is helping. Beth asks, can you ever get your muscle back when you've lost it? Yes, you can absolutely get your muscle back. Here's the catch. In order to get your muscle back after you've lost it, there's a saying, you can't make something from nothing. So it'd be like if you've lost it and you put yourself at a calorie deficit, you lost muscle, you lost body fat, but you also lost some muscle. And then also what do you do as far as you want to stop losing weight? So now you're at maintenance. So now you're burning as many calories as your body is consuming. Now can we go through a little bit of a recomposition there? Recomposition meaning lose a little bit more body fat and gaining a little bit of muscle. Yes, it's possible. For all my ladies out there, if you are pre-menopause or going through menopause, obviously when your hormones drop and your testosterone drops, which is a hormone of accommodation, what does it accommodate? It accommodates your muscle. When that drops, it's going to be very difficult to gain any muscle. It really will be. Can you? Yes, a very little amount. However, keep this in mind. Is it still possible? Yes. But in order to make muscle, whether you're using on hormone replacement therapy or not, again, talk to your medical provider about that. Nevertheless, I think it's a powerful tool. Great for some. Do your own research. However, sorry, I tangented there. In order to make muscle, you now have to consume more calories in order to really give your body the building blocks that it needs, right? You're going to build a house. You can't just sit there and really want that house, and just sit there and just kind of like make it happen in your mind. No, we got to bring in the lumber, bring in the metal, bring in the supports, pour the concrete. You have to do that. You have to bring in the supplies. You have to consume more calories. You got to bring in the supplies, and now you have to resistance train, and you have to send a signal to your body to build that muscle. So it's going to require two things to build it back. It's calorie surplus and now resistance training. And now your body will start to build some muscle back. Depending on how much testosterone your body actually has, a lot of that will, and also there's some genetic components here as far as the speed and the rate at which you will gain it back. But to gain 1/4 pound of muscle, that's good gains. If you can gain 1 pound of muscle a month, those are phenomenal gains. Those are like jaw-dropping gains. If all my ladies out there, if in perimenopause or menopause or post-menopause, to get numbers like 1 pound a month, they're very slim to none, unless you are on hormone replacement therapy. And so but to maybe gain 1/4 pound back a month, it's like, I'll tell you what, this is what I'm going to get at. It's a lot easier to lose the muscle than it is to gain it. Kind of crazy, right? We always think how hard it is to lose weight. It's a lot easier to lose muscle than it is to gain that muscle back. Gaining the muscle back is a very slow process. And the thing is, when you've lost, you lose 100 pounds and you're not resistance training, you're not eating adequate muscle and 40 pounds or eating adequate protein. If 40 pounds of that is muscle, you know how long it's going to take to try to gain that muscle back? It's going to take you a couple of years of a surplus. I mean, it might take 3 years. Shooting you straight. So it's really important that that is why I'm telling you, if you are on the weight loss journey, whether you're doing it lifestyle based or utilizing GLP, GIP medications, adequate protein resistance training, that is the insurance policy. That's the balance. You're going to pay that balance off every single week. I made a analogy with a credit card the other day. As I said, GLP-1 medications are great, but it's like swiping that credit card because it's going to work. It's convenient. It's fast. It's going to solve the problem as far as the hunger and the food noise and everything. But you got to pay off that balance every week, because if it builds up and you start losing way too much muscle too fast, and when I say pay off the balance, adequate protein resistance training. You got to pay off that balance every week if you're going to be swiping that credit card. And if you do that, guess what? You can cross the finish line with a lot of muscle in the most beautiful place, in which that tool worked perfectly for you. It was a massive win. But if you just swipe that credit card and think, I'll pay it off when I get to it, good luck. You'll bury yourself in metabolic debt. We'll put it that way. And you will consume so much muscle. It's going to take you years to get out of that. And those years, guess what? Those years, you're going to be consuming far fewer calories than you want. And it's going to be painful. You'll be white knuckling it. And so just be careful. Be really, really careful. And if you're going to do it, just do it the right way. Awesome. Awesome, guys. All right. Jen. Hey, so this is okay. Great question. And I like this because it's stepping into the mindset side of things. She just says, and Jen, you're right. Consistency is hard. How do you stay consistent? I literally just did a post about this yesterday on Instagram. And I opened up the live today with it, is that stop expecting yourself to give 100% every single day, every single week, which is very natural for us to do. Most of us expect it, even without saying anything. We simply expect to step into some sort of process, some sort of journey, thinking, I have to get all my water right. I have to get my meals right. I have to do my cardio. I have to do my resistance training. I got to do this. I got to do this. Stop. Very rarely will you ever be able to give 100%. I'm shooting you straight. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So even if you have a day where you can give 70 to 80%, that's rare. Most of the time, if you can just show up and give 20 to 30%, which is far fewer than you want to give. But if you still show up and just give 20 to 30%, then that's how you maintain consistency. Here's how I do it. And this is what I do with all of my people who go through the journey of transformation. And we're going to talk about this. For everyone who's starting the challenge, we're going to talk about this. It's called a power promise. So it is absolutely mandatory when you're on the journey of transformation. You set something called a power promise. It is a non-negotiable that no matter what, no matter how crazy the day, it must get done. And that non-negotiable has to be very, very easy to accomplish, whether it's drinking an extra quart of water, deliberately moving for 5 minutes a day. Maybe it's just marching in place while you're watching TV. It might be a gratitude exercise, believe it or not. It might be your power promise might not be doing something. Instead of actually doing something, which takes time, it might be no longer ordering DoorDash. That might be your power promise. And that actually might stop a habit that is absolutely destroying you. And so you set a power promise. And no matter what, at the end of as long as you keep that power promise, that's consistency. And that's what you do. That power promise keeps you anchored in. Think about it like climbing a mountain. You ever watch a rock climber climb up a sheer rock wall? You know what they do about every 15 to 20 feet? They have anchors and they anchor in. And why do they anchor in? It's in case they slip and they fall. That power promise, every single day, you anchor in by keeping that power promise. And so if there's ever a day that you slip and fall and everything falls apart, guess what? You're anchored. You're not going to go tumbling down to your death like many of us have here time and time again. How many times have you been consistent for a month, 2 months, 3 months, and all of a sudden one day everything falls apart and you go and you gain it all back. You go tumbling down the mountain. You never anchored in. It's actually not that simple, or it's not that difficult. It's quite simple. You anchor in with a very simple and single power promise. And then that way you keep it every day. As messy as the day gets, you're not going to go tumbling down. And you're going to wake up the next day and you're going to anchor in, and it keeps that green light of transformation on. And so that's how you can maintain consistency. And as long as you've got that green light is on and you're keeping that power promise and you're anchored in every day, you're going to win. That's what it's about. So keep that in mind. All right, my friends. Yo, great session today. I hope you guys had fun with this one. Let me see. Yo, my boy Scott, I see him. He just jumped on here, guys. We got to give Scott some love, man. He's just lost. He hit over 160 pounds lost now. He just dropped into the 200s. My boy Scott, he's in the collective with us. I see him. He jumped onto Facebook here. All right, guys. Yo, I've got to get running. I've got an 11 o'clock meeting. Great sesh today. Great questions. You guys are great. This was wonderful. If I didn't get your question, hang on to it. We'll do our best next week again. Guys, this was absolutely, and thank you so much for joining in and participating with me. Hey, listen, the challenge, and if you really want to learn, it's 4 weeks, and it is a significant amount of information. It's a course, and onboarding starts tonight. Onboarding is going to go for the next week. Everything will be filmed. We start carb cycling on Monday. And this is where it's a fully interactive experience. So if you're interested and you want to join in, just go to chrispowell.com, click on the challenge. You can go on there, and the doors are open now. I only do this twice a year. So onboarding starts tonight. We're going to run for the next week. You can jump in. Even if you miss onboarding, it's okay. But onboarding's live. It's like this. But it is all the information you need to learn, from setting the foundation for weight loss into carb cycling, into realistic expectations. We're going to meal prep together this Sunday. And so it is hands-on. It's how to learn the lifestyle of losing the weight and then keeping it off. So I'm really excited to share this with you guys. And so everyone who jumps in there, now's the time. Jump in there, and we absolutely close the doors in a week. Again, this is onboarding. Hop in there, and we're gonna have a ton of fun. The energy's high, and so it's gonna be an absolute blast. Thank you guys. Have an amazing Monday and rest of your week. I'll be watching, obviously, on social here. I'll be in and out. I got some really fun posts for the week that I'm excited to share with you guys. And I hope to see all of you in the challenge. Again, it's going down tonight. Kicks off. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful rest of the week. I'll see many of you very, very soon. See ya.